Alright, so we are back for the last segment of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 2.
Yes.
Yep.
So, what happened at the end of the last one, Cora? Recap us. What are they looking for?
So they're looking for the next, the
Horcrux?
Yeah, Horcrux. Seriously, but the Philosopher's Stone, but that's we passed.
Yeah.
Yeet that.
Did we lose anybody?
I have no idea. Maybe some? Wait, no! Now I remember. Sadly, we lost his dad's favorite character, Dobby.
Yeah.
Like I said last episode at the end. Everybody type Dobby in the comments.
Go ahead.
I cared about him from Order of the Phoenix, even though it was a fake. But I feel like the character is still correct. But Moody also died in part 1.
Yep.
Although that was done off screen, but it was mentioned.
And we lost Hedwig,
Oh yeah, Hedwig is gone too.
Harry's owl. That Hagrid bought him for his 11th birthday. I'm surprised Hagrid just didn't have one inside his coat, since he collects magical creatures like Newt Scamander.
Oh yeah, that's very true.
Anyways, so as you can see, we are ending this just like we began it. Very symbolic, since that'll come into play later. Yeah, and so basically they're hunting Horcruxes, but they're also now looking for other items. What are they looking for, Cora?
I have told.
Besides Horcruxes.
I think they're looking for the items of.
There's 3 of them.
I know. The wand.
That's one of them.
The wand, what else? Well, what are the 3 items called? The...
Freeboard.
What's the name of the movie? It's right there. What's the name of the movie?
Deathly Hallows.
There you go.
Jesus Christ, he said before I could even speak of it. Because the movie's not actually dead.
Yeah, it is.
You edited
You
it.
just can't see it. It's invisible.
There's the 3 Deathly Hallows: the Elder Wand, the Resurrection Stone, and the Invisibility Cloak.
Yep.
You're so smart.
But, alright, we are going to go ahead and jump right into this.
I do want to say one thing before we get started.
Well,
Okay.
Just so you don't jump the gun. One thing about my backstory about when I saw this, because it was a cool story. I got into Harry Potter right around like when Prisoner of Azkaban came out, and it wasn't like my favorite thing, but it was good enough. And I kept watching it as it came out in theaters. And then I was in college right when the last 3 movies came out. Maybe 4. Anyways, doesn't matter. So I saw those in college, and I took this opportunity that there was a world premiere in London for Deathly Hallows Part 2. And yes, I went to that. And my favorite memory of that, real quick, is Emma Watson was the last person to arrive at the theater. She was actually running down the red carpet up to the theater because she was running late. And I thought that was just funny. It was hilarious that happened. Unfortunately, I did have a video, but I don't think it turned out very well, so it is what it is. It's just in my memory. It's something I saw, so I just wanted to bring that up.
Alright. So, everybody get ready. And
You know, I have something to say too.
what?
I feel like since this is the last Harry Potter movie, I feel like Voldemort's going to die. But I think it's going to be hard because Voldemort has stolen Dumbledore's wand. Yes, he said, but Voldemort has stolen it.
Well, I guess we're going to have to find out.
Okay.
So you ready?
Let's go!
It's not Mario. See you guys after the movie.
Bye. Together.
Only I can live forever.
All right. So, as I said at the beginning, we're finishing this like we started it. It's finally over, Cora. So what happened in this movie? Just summarize.
So we see Harry again, and we see him at a house.
Yeah. And then where do they go from there?
And then they talk to the goblin, and then they make a deal to go to
Gringotts.
Gringotts, whatever the hell it is.
Gringotts.
Gringotts, whatever the hell it is.
It's a bank.
But Cora, you do know what the word summarize means, right?
No.
Okay, so they start out at a cottage, then they talk, and then they go to the bank. Why are they going to the bank?
To get something.
What? It was said like many times. A Horcrux.
Horcrux.
And what happens at the bank? Does that go smoothly?
No.
What happens?
So the goblin helps, takes them there, gets through the dragon by making noise, and then the goblin betrays them once they get what they want. The
So how do
goblin
they
has his
escape?
prize, wishes his sword, and poofs away, gets away, but Harry and his friends manage to get out, gets out as a dragon, and goes to Hogwarts,
Yeah.
which ends terribly.
Which starts our final battle. So last time, during Half-Blood Prince, or no, during the last one, Deathly Hallows Part 1, you were curious and asking me who that dear Patronus belonged to. Did you get an answer to that question?
Yes, which was Snape.
And was Snape really a traitor?
No.
No. Are you sad that Snape died?
A little bit. And I'm so angry at him.
How about you, Anime D Senpai? What do you think about Snape's death?
It was a little sad, and I think they handled it pretty well. Although I think, well, I guess all things considered, it was done fine, and it was unfortunate to see Snape die. And I actually was spoiled ahead of time. I actually knew when I went to go see Half-Blood Prince when Snape killed Dumbledore. I knew that whole thing was a request or an order from Dumbledore himself.
Yeah.
So I didn't hate him. There was like so many people that they said that they hate Snape because of that he betrayed Dumbledore. I knew that wasn't the case because I knew what happened.
Yeah. Cora, what did you think about learning that Snape was ordered to kill Dumbledore to save Draco?
That made no sense!
Well, he was gonna die anyway. And Draco was ordered to kill him. Please leave that alone. So, instead of having a child kill somebody and live with that, he asked Snape to do it because Snape's killed people before, being a former Death Eater. And could bear the burden. And since Snape knew that Dumbledore was dying, it would be a merciful death. It's like if you asked me to end you because you contracted a rare disease that was going to kill you in 6 months. Would you want to go through that pain? Or have somebody end you early so you don't have to suffer?
For me, that's a pretty easy question. I mean, if I was in that position, I would want someone to end me early just so I wouldn't have to suffer.
Yeah. Which ultimately, I feel like that's what Dumbledore wanted. He wanted Snape to be the one to kill him. A, to save Draco from having to bear that burden.
Yeah.
And B, because he didn't want to suffer. So. Thoughts, Cora? So what did you think of the final battle? Poop.
I think that whole plot of the death kind of went over her head.
I think you'll understand.
What the hell was going on there?
Are you happy that Voldemort's dead?
Yes.
Are you happy Harry defeated Voldemort
Yes.
and the school is saved?
Yes, but it made me heartbroken. I thought Harry was dead during a part.
Yeah. Were you gonna cry?
I was this close to crying. This
Well,
close. This close, I say.
well, Cora, if you paid attention to like the one thing where like Malfoy's mom was actually talking to Harry, whispering over his ear if Draco was still alive, and Harry nodded and confirmed that Draco was alive. So, right there, I mean, Narcissa knew that Harry was dead, but she lied.
You mean she knew Harry was
Well,
alive?
she knew that she was alive, but she lied that he was dead. You people know what I mean.
So what did you think of the final battle, though, between Voldemort and Harry, Cora? When they were actually fighting it out at the end.
Okay. I just didn't like the part where it just like float around like in the ink. Black ink.
The black smoke.
The black smoke.
Why?
It looked like they were switching bodies or combining into one person.
Oh yeah, that was kind of a crazy scene. I do know what you're talking about. That was weird.
That was like weird.
They were being stretched and distorted because I swear. Okay, so a lot of people say that the whole smoke thing was made up for the movies, but I feel like the smoke thing was just to show them separating in short distances. Like, yeah, you can disapparate and go anywhere you want, but if you're gonna just go across the room, you could sort of do like a half disapparation, and it makes like that smoky pattern.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they had the Order of the Phoenix in like this like white smoke, and then they had all the Death Eaters in black smoke. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was interesting. But
I mean,
Okay, so Cora. Sorry. Okay, so Cora. The cup of Hufflepuff was destroyed by who? Who destroyed that Horcrux? Hermione?
Yes, Hermione.
You can't ever say her name right. It's Hermione.
Hermione.
Okay.
Hermione.
Who destroyed the tiara?
Harry.
Yep.
Actually, the tiara was... Well, I mean, there was like a two-part thing there. It was actually mostly the...
Well, he stabbed it with the basilisk fang, then kicked it in. But in the books, yes, he just kicks it in or throws it into the fire because the fire is supposed to be living flame, which is a powerful dark magic, which was supposed to destroy it.
Oh my god.
And that was actually in the movie, so...
Yeah, they actually had it, but they had him stab it for some reason. But anyways, who killed the snake, Cora?
Ron.
No.
Hermione.
No.
Harry.
No.
Some guy with a sword.
Neville.
Neville.
Can you sit up?
The other quote-unquote chosen one that people were wondering about.
Yeah. And then who killed the last Horcrux?
Well,
Voldemort.
actually,
Yes!
Well, actually, you got the last two mixed up.
Oh, I waited till the end to see if she would get it.
Harry.
Once I exhausted all the other options.
Harry.
No, Harry didn't kill himself. Voldemort
Right,
killed
but
Harry.
he wanted to, so that also counts Harry killing himself because Harry forced Voldemort to
He didn't
kill
force him. He
Harry
just
out
walked
of
in front of him and
Yeah.
Voldemort did of his own free will.
But it's also a force.
No, Harry just... I mean, Voldemort's not... Voldemort sees his most hated enemy right in front of him that survived, like, 17 years ago or 16 years ago, and he's just walking up to him.
Actually, I would say he survived every encounter with Voldemort.
And so, Voldemort's going to pass up an opportunity of killing him when he's just walking casually.
So, in this one, we had the Cup of Hufflepuff, the Tiara of Ravenclaw, Nagini of the Snake, and Harry was a Horcrux. In the previous movies, we had, what were the other three Horcruxes? Cora, do you remember?
Let's see if I remember.
A necklace and a wing.
Yep. And there was one more.
The other Horcrux was destroyed pretty early on.
A book?
Yep.
Yes, but...
Tom Riddle's diary
Yes, this,
from Chamber of Secrets.
yes, this is also destroyed by Harry.
Yep. And the ring was destroyed by Dumbledore, and the necklace was destroyed by Ron. So technically, Ron and Harry both took out two. Right? So, alright. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when we return, we will give our final scores, and we'll see what else we do. So,
Bye-bye.
see you guys in a minute.
Bye.
Hello there. I promise we'll get right back to the video shortly. I just wanted to say that many writers, YouTubers, readers, and gamers often talk about one thing that they all share in common, and that is drinking coffee. And perhaps you're tired of going out and ordering expensive high-end coffees and cappuccinos from huge corporations, and are looking for a way to have that same or better coffee brewed right in your own home. So I want to ask that you consider trying Coffee Brand Coffee. You can order from an array of different blends that will be delivered right to your door. And if coffee is not your thing, they also have teas, cocos, and chocolates. Why am I doing this, you may ask? Well, for a long time now, I have been a fan of a channel called The Quartering, which is constantly reporting on the news, and the head of the channel, Jeremy, has worked really hard for his viewers over the time I've watched this channel. He has done so much, helping out others and smaller channels, working hard to make several videos a day, which I can tell you, does take quite a good amount of work. And recently, he started his own coffee company. So if you're willing to try and change to a better coffee, tea, or K-cup because you need that sweet caffeine fix to get you through writing that next novel, reading that next book, playing that new video game long into the late hours of the night, or starting off early in the morning for a long live stream, then head over to the website for Coffee Brand Coffee or check out the channel The Quartering and see what delicious specials they have going on.
For thousands of years, the world has been protected by the Guardian of Light, or as he is more commonly known, Santa Claus. Over the centuries, factors such as fear and prejudice, greed and jealousy, misunderstandings, betrayal and war have segregated most humans from the magical world of elves, fairies, wizards, and the like. This has resulted in many misconceptions and generalizations of the true nature of Santa and his world.
This 6-book series by Sean Connaughton begins as the current of a long series of guardians is murdered by a group of monstrous enemies recently escaped from an enchanted South Pole prison. These creatures are loyal to the darkness, an evil force determined to exterminate the light in order to enslave all creatures of the world.
Shane Connor, an average young man, suddenly finds himself being trained as the new guardian. As he adapts to his new life among fantastic creatures, he goes on an adventurous quest with a legendary wizard for the ultimate weapon to use against the darkness, and faces murderous enemies like Rasputin, Morgana Le Fay, Krampus, and many more.
Along with his best friend, Joe Gomez, Shane encounters politics, history, mysterious murders, new loves, his own hidden past, and racial dynamics among the fantasy races that turn out to be all too real. Their adventures reveal the true nature of the world and challenge the current state of how all races interact.
This series expertly melds myths, legends, history, faiths, folklore, and secret societies into a fascinating, cohesive, comprehensive world of wonder and magic.
From Atlantis to Olympus, from Hades to the moon, and from broomstick races to Christmas deadlines, join the new Santa Claus on his amazing journey. But beware! Will Shane's quest achieve his ultimate goal of destroying the darkness and preserving the light of the world? Or is he actually playing right into a plot by dark forces that will result in his, and our, ultimate doom?
So make your list and check it twice for the Guardian of Light book series. Download your audiobook or ebook today from Audible, Amazon, or iTunes.
All right, so Cora, we'll start with you. On a scale of 1 to 10, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, what would you score it?
A flippin' 5 out of 10.
A 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. Wow. Ouch.
Why?
Because of the Snape's memories.
What, you didn't like that, or you do like that?
That made me confused.
Got you confused? Okay.
Well, she's a little kid.
Okay. All right.
Maybe when she's a teenager and she revisits this, maybe her score will be different.
And also
We'll probably revisit this when she's like 16.
Or even 12.
Anyways, come on. So
And
why else?
when Harry almost made me cry, when Harry faked his death.
Didn't really fake his death, really.
He kind of did.
Oh.
In a matter of speaking, yes.
Alright. Well, anyways, Anime D Senpai, on a score of 1 to 10, what would you give Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows?
Honestly, I would like to go through like the whole system that I have at home that I have printed out. Like I have a sheet that I would follow for this kind of thing. But if I just had to come up with a number right here on the spot, I would guess maybe an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
I would give it like a 9 out of 10 if it wasn't for the scenes that were so dark and like there was actually one thing about the scenes seemed to be a bit brighter. I think I remember seeing when it was in theaters, it was not quite as dark. I would be able to see things a little bit better, but on here at home, like on TVs and all that stuff, it's just not as clear.
Yeah. And I got a 4K TV, so I mean that's pretty.
And it wasn't actually until you turned off all the lights in the house here that I was able to actually see what was going on at the end battle.
Any other reasons why, or is that it?
That's mostly it. Everything else I liked. I just like the whole darkness stuff. Brings it down like a couple points.
For me, on a scale of 1 to 10, God, this is so hard. I'd honestly have to go with, I think I'd have to give it an 8 out of 10 also, for many of the same reasons. I don't know, I mean, what David Yates' thing is about darkness. I mean, if you look at, like, these movies, and you compare them to, like, the Lord of the Rings movies, which actually came out before these, it's like, you know, the Lord of the Rings movies did it way better, and actually had it during the daytime. Didn't hide much from you, you know? They didn't try to use darkness to hide the effects. And then there was just so many spots towards the end where it's, like, really dark, and then suddenly, bright light! And you're like, whoa, now I'm blinded. That was a major issue for me.
The little limbo scene makes sense. I was fine with the limbo scene being so bright as it was.
I just feel like, you know, it didn't work really well for me. Like I said, it's just blinding, going from like pitch dark to like somebody flipping on a light switch. Like, huh?
Well, I mean, yeah.
There you go. I wanted the light. Well, I wanted the light in the whole movie, not just this little bit. then they go right back to the darkness, and you're like, whoa, wait, where'd the light go?
Well, you didn't like the light, so they turned off the light.
Also, again, there is a bunch of stuff, like I've always mentioned, that is cut out from the books, and I don't appreciate that. I mean, that's pretty much par for the course, I guess, at this point, but that's why I'm not harping on it too much, but yeah, that stuff bothered me too.
Can we do a video that you will not mention the books?
I'm always going to mention it a little bit.
Well, this is actually based off of a book, so that's kind of relevant, and he read the book, so...
Yeah, I've read them a couple times, so... and actually, the stuff that happened in previous books would have been set up here better than, like, oh, suddenly now Harry can hear the Horcruxes. You know, which is, like, not been a thing until now. Until we plot convenience needed it to happen. Whereas before, when in the Ravenclaw scene, when he goes after the tiara, it would have been set up had they have followed the book in Half-Blood Prince, because Harry had touched the tiara before, he had put it on top of a mannequin head, and he put that on top of where he put the book. So he, like, suddenly knows, like, oh, it's in the room of requirement. I've seen it, you know, after talking with Helena and hearing that Tom Riddle had used it before. But she, I think in the book, doesn't know where it is. So it's on Harry again. And that's when Harry's like, you know, oh. So yeah, I'd have to go with an 8 out of 10. I was almost even contemplating a 7 because of how dark it was, but an 8 out of 10 is fine. I'm just really glad that moving on from the Harry Potter movies and into the Fantastic Beasts movies, it wasn't as dark. They didn't stick with that dark theme. There is a lot of night scenes, but I'd say they're better lit in the Fantastic Beasts movies. Which, I don't know when we'll do those, but we might do those at some point. Maybe like in a year or so when Cora's...
Do you want to mention something you brought up in the movie? A question that you asked that I answered?
Sure.
Okay, you were asking about Crab or Goyle.
Oh. Yeah, you can mention that if you want.
Okay, I would mention, I got actually kind of lectured once for caring about stuff that happens outside of movies. And this is where it comes in handy with knowing what happens behind the scenes. Now, I can't remember, was it Crab or Goyle that was not there? I always get...
Crab.
Okay, Crab.
I heard Malfoy say Goyle, or no, Ron comes running. He says, Goyle lit the fire.
Okay, yeah. So, Crab, the actor who played Crab, was serving jail time, so he was replaced by another character, another actor.
Yeah.
So.
And this isn't, I think one of the movies, this isn't the first time it happened. I think one of the movies he was gone for most of the movie. Like, you maybe see him a little bit.
So, that's why he was absent, and that's where, like, paying attention, knowing what happens behind the scenes comes in handy.
Yeah, but I feel like, you know, the problem with that is that people pay too much attention and harp on things too much, like what happened with The Last Jedi. People were so focused on woke politics and associating it to being woke just because Disney was making it. They failed to see all the positive things about it. They failed to see many of the good things about it and the things that made sense that were right there in the story that they told you. But people just said, oh, no, I'm not going to like it because it's woke. And as anybody who knows this channel, you know I'm the first person to harshly call out when things are woke. I hate the fact that in the Hogwarts Legacy game, that they actually have a trans character in the game. That every single professor just about is not English, they're from some foreign country, which makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Because a lot of the professors should be from England, or Scotland, or Ireland, because that's where Hogwarts generally is. But no, they got teachers from Asia, they got teachers from India, and it's like, yeah, Hogwarts would not have had this diverse of a staff back in the late 1800s. Unless you're going to say they regressed, politics-wise.
Yeah.
And also, but, you know, I'll probably do a review of Hogwarts Legacy once I finish the game. But no, I will always call out woke stuff. And while, yes, Last Jedi had its problems, I've been very defensive of it.
I wasn't even going to talk about that.
Just because of all this stuff that was happening outside of the movie, it tainted people's view of the movie. And I feel like if that had not happened, then people would not view the movie the way they do. And they would have been more open to it. But you got so many people calling out the dumbest crap in Last Jedi.
I don't know. I mean, I went into Last Jedi with an open mind, and you know Well, there's a couple things I hated right off the bat. Like I hated the Yoda scene. I hated the Holdo right off the bat. But anyway, that's gonna be a different video.
Yeah, we could do a different video on that. I'm just saying, like, in my, as we've talked about before, it's just you and me, though, like, people harping on Luke drinking the milk. Like, okay, they've had different colored milk in Star Wars before, and he's got to get his, drink from somewhere. What's wrong with him? I mean, he put it in a container and he drank from the container. He's thirsty. He's got to go around and do chores every day. He's got to eat breakfast, too.
I didn't have a problem with that.
No, you didn't, but a lot of people online did. And that's why I don't get into a lot of, like, what goes on outside the movie. I am there for the movie. Maybe, in retrospect, the studio should have waited for the actor to get out of jail. Or they should have tried to, work out something with the courts to get him out of jail. Like, I mean, movies have done it before, so...
Yeah.
Studios have done that, so... But anyways, so no, that's our score. Do you guys want to do a quick ranking?
Yes.
I could do a on the fly thing.
Alright. So, Cora, there are 8 movies in total. Actually, we'll start with Anime D Senpai. There are 8 movies in total. From the bottom of the list to, not really the worst, but your least favorite to your most favorite.
Okay, so I'm going least favorite to... Okay, very bottom.
Number 8.
Chamber of Secrets.
Okay. Number 7.
Order of the Phoenix.
Okay. Number 6.
Goblet of Fire. Actually, you know what? Switch Goblet of Fire and Order of the Phoenix.
Okay. That's right. You always do this when we do a ranking.
So yeah. Order of Phoenix would be number 6.
You're at 5.
So yeah. Number 5 would be Philosopher's Stone.
Okay.
And I got 4 more. Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Okay. 3 left.
Half-Blood... Wait, nope. Yes, Half-Blood Prince.
Okay. Number 2.
Number 2 would be Prisoner of Azkaban.
Okay.
And number 1, Deathly Hallows Part 1. And I put Deathly Hallows Part 1 on top because it is the first movie and the only movie, and this is where I differ from a lot of people, that did not deal with Hogwarts. I'm glad to be out of that school for one movie.
Well, I mean, I think they did show up for like a split second, but...
That wasn't the focus, so.
Alright, Corey, you've seen how it's done. What would you rank your movies as? Starting at the bottom. You're going from your least favorite to your most favorite.
Azkaban.
Prisoner of Azkaban?
This one.
Deathly Hallows Part 2?
No, Deathly Hallows Part 1 at the bottom.
Deathly Hallows Part 2, then Deathly Hallows Part 1? Or are you saying reverse?
Reverse!
Okay. So you like this one a little bit more than the first one?
Yes.
Okay. What's next? Number 6.
Half-Blooded Prince.
Okay. Number 5.
The movie where Harry released Voldemort.
Huh?
The movie where Harry released Voldemort.
Oh,
Goblet of Fire.
yeah, Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire.
Okay, and number 4. You got Order of the Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, that's the one with the snake, and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Azkaban should have been at 4. That one,
This one
yeah, at Sword.
at 3, Order of the Phoenix.
Yes. Second one at second. First one at fourth.
Okay, so Chamber of Secrets, then Philosopher's Stone. All right, for me, I would have to say Order of the Phoenix is at the bottom. Goblet of Fire. Chamber of Secrets. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Deathly Hallows Part 1. Then Deathly Hallows Part 2. And I don't think I missed any. Did I? No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Alright. Yeah. Mainly because, I do like the whole two-parter. It's exactly what I've been saying they should do. My biggest criticism is just the lighting. God, yeah, I hate that it's so dark. I really wish they would make a TV series of these books, and each season is a different book, and you can have multiple episodes until you finish each book. That way, you could have short seasons at the beginning, and if it is doing well and everything's going great, then when you get to those thicker and longer books, you can actually have like a full 20 episode season. Or something like that. So,
I think you could get away with like maybe 12 episodes.
maybe. I mean, you do have, a lot of reading is a lot of, like, descriptive work. I know from my books, I have to put a lot of description in.
I mean, I just know this from, like from manga. Like, when I see, like, manga chapters being adapted into anime, they can sometimes get, like, 3 chapters into one episode, and one episode is, like, about 20 minutes or so.
But yeah, they don't have to describe the scents in the air. They don't have to describe everything. I mean, they could have a character say it if they wanted, but mainly in books, though, you are told everything.
Yeah, I know.
I read a book once where there was like a whole chapter of this elf, and the whole point of the chapter was that the elf is walking down this path in the forest.
But yeah,
It was like, oh my god, that took so long.
But yeah, TV is a visual medium, so they won't have to describe all that stuff because people will be seeing it.
But they can follow the books more faithfully. So, but anyways, that's gonna wrap up this review series of Harry Potter. I probably will still put out a review of Hogwarts Legacy, so be ready for that. And then maybe we might even do another one where Cora does a review of Hogwarts Legacy.
Although, I think I would probably go on better reflection about how I would rank the movies. I mean, I came up with that rank on the fly, but I mean, if I actually sat down and actually thought about it, I might have like a different...
Well, tell the people what's on your channel so they know what to look for.
Well, I mean, the stuff that's on my channel, well, I'm working on reviews for One Piece. I gotta cover the latest few chapters for that, and got something coming up for I will be going to a convention this summer. And I'll have a video of me talking about that.
Hopefully you'll have video of that. That you could show on your channel.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, real quick, Cora, before we wrap up, so we are done with Harry Potter. Are you happy?
Yeah.
What's the next franchise we're moving into? What?
Shrek.
Shrek, yep. So put on your green ears. It's going to be Shrek time. I think you have a headband with Shrek ears. Don't you?
No.
I think you do.
No.
Anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We'll talk to you all later.
See you.
Bye.